We're looking for a nice heavy crab. Medium size would be fine.
That one there?
Yeah. You recommend that one?
Yeah, she's not too bad.
Yeah, good. That'll do for us.
That one's a nice heavy one as well. Either or.
We'll go for the bigger one, I think.
Yep.
It's not going to be wet this time of year, is it?
Sorry?
It's not going to be wet inside this time of
No,
year.
it shouldn't be, because normally when we cook them,
Yeah.
we leave them out to cool down,
Yeah.
and then we put them in the fridge overnight.
Okay.
So it sets the meat, so it should be quite nice and firm. I can open it up and have a look if you want.
Would you mind?
No? There you go then.
Yeah, that's lovely.
All right?
Yeah, well done. Right, well here's the nice freshly cooked crab we bought from the fishmonger at Fareham Farmers Market this morning. When we turn it over, this particular one happens to be a female. Lots of people prefer the female. But if you look over, it's got a flap, and the flap on the female crab is quite large. If it was a male crab, it'd be considerably smaller than that. And the reason the flap on the female crab is so large is that when she lays her eggs, she hides her eggs under that flap for safety. So this one's a female. I'm now going to break it down into its component parts. We're going to take the carcass out of the main shell, and sometimes they come apart quite easily like that. If they don't come apart, just get a kitchen knife in there and break it open like that, and it comes apart quite easily. So we're taking the main shell, and then we've got the carcass with all the claws attached. Now I'm going to take the big claws off. This is where all the white meat is. Well, not all the white meat, but quite a lot of the white meat is in the big claws. And I'm going to take the small claws off. These again contain white meat, but they do need a little bit of patience to pick them. So I'll take all the small claws off. Then we come to the thing that everybody's frightened about with the crab, is the dead men's fingers. Well, they're not actually going to kill you. They're not going to do anything to you really, but they're just not very pleasant. All the way round the actual carcass, you get these feathery bits that look like feathers. These are actually the crab's gills, dead men's fingers. They're not poisonous, but you just wouldn't want to eat them because they're quite unpleasant. So all these feathery bits that go right the way around the carcass have got to come off. Just go around in a circle, and all those feathers come off. Also at this stage the flap can come off because there's nothing there. Just inspect it. We've got all the feathers off. I think we've got everything else off of it that needs to come off. All that's for the bin. We have the carcass, which contains quite a lot of white meat, but it takes a bit of patience to pick it out. We'll show you how to do that in a minute. Big claws, more white meat. Small claws, again white meat. Then in the big shell, this is where the brain meat is. There's a couple of little feathers have stayed in there, so we're going to take those out. In the big shell we have the brain meat. Now just at the front here there's the mouth of the crab. If you just with your thumb, if you just press it down, it's a bit bony and sinewy. You just need to take it out. Goes with the rubbish. Just inspect it, make sure that there's nothing else in there that you don't want. There's some bits of the skin there. Right, that's pretty much all okay. We'll spoon that out in a minute. And that's all the brain meat of the crab, which is very good flavour, but it's a different consistency to the white meat. So we have the shell with the brain meat, small claws white meat, big claws white meat, carcass white meat, and rubbish for the bin. I'm just going to break the big claws just slightly before Di starts doing the picking, just for ease of picking. Not too hard. It's a tough old crab. I don't want to hit them too hard because you break the shell into too many small pieces, it gets amongst your crab meat, so just try and be a little bit gentle with it. Second one, well, that one's gone a bit easier. That's probably enough. See the claw, the shell's just cracked, which Di can pull that away and get it in at the white meat. Not too many shell pieces. You get too many shell pieces like that, you end up with some in your white crab meat, which is not very pleasant. So we'll try and cut that down to a minimum. Well, that's the breaking down of the crab into the main component parts. Now the picking needs to be done now, and I find that women are very good at this because they got nimble fingers and more patience than men. So I'm going to hand over to Di now to finish off.
I'm going to actually talk about the shell first, because when you dress a crab you need to actually get rid of this bit, and all you do is push it down, take out the shell that you've pushed down, and then I've got some brown meat still in the other bit. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take this brown meat from here, and I'm going to put this brown meat that's still in here back in here. It doesn't get wasted, of course. I should probably use it to make a crab pate, or to put on a little bit of biscuits and things for an hors d'oeuvre. Anyway, all this meat here, that's going to be cast aside for tonight's dish, and I should use that at another time. So that's that bit done. I'm going to attack the big claws first, break them up. And using the pick, you need to pick the meat out. This is already broken up here. Scrape it out. Rubbish over there. And as you can see, there's some really luscious bits in these. This is the best succulent meat in the big claws. And lots of people, if you can get the end claw out, which I will do in a minute, like to keep it intact to use it for decoration, which is quite a good idea. I'm trying not to waste any, and you can work on this quite quickly. These are the bits in between, the knuckly bits if you like, but there's still plenty of flesh in there, so keep picking away, don't give up. It's one of these things I really enjoy doing, but I love a fruit de mer when I'm in France, because I just love picking everything out. Whelks, winkles, you name it, I'll pick it out. It's lovely. Anyway, here we go. Look, pull that bit out, and then you can just scrape the meat out. Right, so that'll be really sweet, that will. Sometimes you're lucky, you can pull this and you can get the claw bit out in one, but I think this has been slightly, oh there we go, there's a little bit of claw, but that's all you're going to get out of that bit. These are not huge ones. And this bit, yeah, I've got another piece of claw. Sometimes it's nice to put that on top for decoration. And then there's this. So this is the meat from one whole claw, and I've got another one to do. Right, this is the carcass, and lots of people think there's not much in here, but there is. I'm just going to get this fleshy bit out because it wasn't picked out properly. There we are. That can go with the rest of the white meat. And oh, there's a little bit on the outside you can put in there as well. Then I'm just taking those other bits off, and again, plenty of white meat. People just don't think there's anything there. That's it, all done. Right, I'm going to take a sharp knife, turn it over like this, and through the middle of the carcass, like so. So I've split it in half across there. Now I'm going to turn it round that way, and where these are, I'm just going to press down again with the knife, cut it through, and open it up. And same with this one. And then you're exposed to all these chambers which are full of white meat, and all you've got to do then is just go through them, and they come off very easily. Saves you picking and picking and picking. So you'll find you'll get plenty of white meat out of this. So don't ever throw that away. It's awful. Some people I've seen people doing this when they do a freedom, eating crab in France, and they get to that bit and they leave it, and it's some of the nicest, juiciest, sweetest crab meat you can get. See, look, that one's done already. And again with this one, turn it round, go into the chamber, and you just pull it out. There's loads of it. And then you repeat it with the other half. Don't waste it. It's amazing the amount of white meat you can get from one crab.
That's a really refreshing starter for a summer's evening. Lovely fresh crab. Mango and avocado salsa really goes well together. Top marks to the chef.
I'm really pleased with the crab. It's lovely and fresh, sweet, and just with the lemon juice, it's excellent.
I would have been quite happy with a bacon sandwich. Good night.